good to see you. You get fairy dust and I get fairy dust. And this sweet little baby's sound asleep and she gets fairy dust. Amelie is right down there. All right, it's time for Ask an Advanced Bitch. And I had to say, dear advanced bitch, calling me a bitch is like the highest compliment you can give me. I'm so touched. I'm so honored. I love it so much. Okay. Do you think understanding why someone did the things that they did to you is the same as forgiving them for doing said things? If they aren't, then how do you get from understanding to forgiveness? Okay. Forgiveness is fucking hard. Like forgiveness is, the topic is hard to talk about. Figuring out what actually forgiveness is hard to talk about. Let's say this person did a thing. This person did a thing, and we do this all the time. If a person is being really mean, and we know that they've had abuse in their past, we think, that makes sense. I understand that. So for me, that's what you mean by understanding. Like you have an understanding that that person is acting out in such a way that is in line with the abuse of their past. Fine. We can do that. I will say just a little caveat, a little side note that we think we understand. I don't fucking know why somebody's being mean. Maybe somebody's being mean for other reasons. Maybe they just want to be mean to me. Like I have no idea. But because we have, high psychological acumen and we are highly socially intelligent, highly emotionally intelligent, and highly sensitive. If we have any of that, sure, we see that, we get it, we understand. And if somebody treats me like a piece of shit, which I do not allow anymore, then I need to set a boundary around that. That's now become my issue. If this person has this in their past and they're hurting me and they're acting out with other people, okay, but if they're acting out with me, now they're bringing it to me. And so for me, what I have to do is use my tools. And my tools involve behavior. And so if somebody is treating me like shit and I don't allow that anymore, I can understand that why they're doing it. Maybe that's why, maybe it's not. I have no idea because I can't read a mind and I can't, track the wires and the neurons to see that that's why they're being fucking mean to me. Maybe they're just being an asshole because they're an asshole. Who knows? That's why we don't worry about any of that shit as advanced bitches. All we worry about are actions and behaviors. And we worry about our actions and behaviors. And so if somebody's treating me like a piece of shit, thank you, but no thank you. I don't allow that. That's not okay with me. And I have to set a boundary around that. That's my responsibility. Now, I can forgive them for doing that. Again, maybe I have the insight about their past, maybe I don't, but I can forgive anybody for treating me like a piece of shit. It is no problem if you want to treat me like a piece of shit. We're not going to be in a relationship and I'm not going to be around you anymore. And I completely forgive you, but I'm not going to allow myself to be treated like that. And so that's on me. But do you see, I forgive the person. It's no problem. I'm not mad at them for doing that. I might have a feeling like disappointment or hurt or frustration, and as I'm understanding their past, that I can move on with my life and just like, oh, thank you for letting me know who you are, Maya Angelou. And thank you for telling me. And also, like, I'm so excited when people tell me who they are. Like, oh, it's so great, especially early. Oh, it's the best. So we don't have to waste any more time. But I don't ever have to see them again, but I completely forgive them. I can easily do that. I think that people do sometimes use their past to manipulate others. Like, oh, well, my past was bad, so I get to treat you like a piece of shit. No, you don't, but God bless. And So let's talk about something that really hurts. Like our families can really, really hurt us, or our closest relationships can really, really hurt us. And let's say that we want to forgive and we find out we can't. What does that mean? To me, as an advanced bitch doing my advanced personal growth work, oh wow, that really hurt me and I'm having trouble forgiving. So because I'm an addict, and this is why I think everyone should work the 12 steps and live by the shit in that big book, because one of the things that I learned in 12 step programs was if I want to stay sober, I am not allowed to have any resentments. And so that is why I don't actually struggle with forgiveness of anyone, of anyone, because I can't have a resentment if I want to stay sober, and I want to stay sober more than anything else. And so that's when it's in the Bitchifesto. Advanced bitches don't have resentments. We live a resentment-free life. And so what that means is we're going to get a resentment because we're human, and people are going to do shit to us. People in institutions are going to do things to us. And so then we take that and we say, wow, I'm really resentful of that. I have a fucking resentment. I was resentment free, but now you've come into my path and fuck that shit up. Thank you so much. And now I got to work on my resentment. And I guess you could say that when I free myself from a resentment, I have fully forgiven the other person. Now, some resentments are going to take a really, really, really long time, but that's the path of sobriety, is going down that list and becoming willing to work on those things. And so I can understand why people do things. I'm in relationship, and now if they do something to me, it's up to me to set the boundaries around that. And that when I get a resentment, I can know somehow that has impacted my soul, somehow that has triggered me, somehow that has touched an old wound, and I'm carrying a resentment. Or people are just being dum-dums. I remember I had, a resentment about somebody in my dance class that was just like, why do you keep talking? Like, can we dance? Like, I don't want to. Okay, that's a really ridiculous resentment. Again, I'm telling it to you, embarrassing myself that I would even have such a thing. But I actually had to work on that, and I had okay, I want to still keep going to dance class. I want to still keep doing these things. I want to, I want to be a normal human being, and I want to not have any resentment. So I had to do that work. I didn't have an understanding of her background, and it really wasn't about her. It was about the stuff that I wanted, and she was getting in the way of something I wanted. I don't want to talk during dance class. I want to dance. So, and she wasn't talking about dance stuff. It's like, I came here to dance. I'm a therapist. I don't. And so, but I didn't need to talk to her individual. I didn't do any of that. I'm just showing you that we'll get a resentment. And then how I knew I was free from that resentment is that it's like, oh, I don't have it anymore. That's kind of what it is. And so when I resent somebody, or when I, and I will admit, maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Maybe I don't really know what forgiveness is. It's complicated. But for me, it seems to be lives very close to resentment for me. And so when I'm resentful of somebody or something or someone, I guess I have not forgiven them. And so, but it's okay. I mean, we're not striving for perfection here. Advanced bitches have an imperfection practice. And so I get to hold on to that resentment as long as I want. To keep with my integrity, I have to actively work on it. But the way that works is I work on it, but I don't say, you need to forgive that person. You need to forgive that person. That will never work, or I'll get a resentment against myself. It's like, well, I got to go to work on that resentment. Am I going to call my sponsor? Am I going to talk about it in therapy? Am I going to journal the fuck out of it? Like, what am I going to do with it? Because I need to let it lift, because I'm not going to have a resentment in my life. I'm just not going to live that way. Now, let's talk about some bad bad shit that happens to us. I don't think other people need to forgive other people if they don't want to. I think that's a personal choice. And some things may not be forgivable. Some things may not be forgivable. And I respect that and I understand it. I get it. And so bad shit happened to me. And so I figured out a way to reconcile those things because I want to stay sober. Do you see how my eating disorder led me to so much personal growth and to the advanced bitch lifestyle of living by the Bitchifesto, which is the hardest fucking ask, because I came to it backwards. I wasn't walking around like, oh, I want to be great. I want to be resentment free. No, it's like, I don't want to stick my head in the toilet today. So what do I got to, oh fuck, I have a resentment. I got to clear it off the decks because I don't know what's going to make me use next. And so I came to this way of life because of urgency, because of a need, because of emergency, because I was going to die if I didn't. My life depended on it. So I had to dig real deep to forgive a lot of shit. And I can say right here in this moment, when you're watching this, well, not when you're watching it, I could have a lot of resentments by the time you're watching it, but as I'm saying it, I don't have any resentments. I can't think of any. I'm like, my eyes are going up. Do I have any, Amelie? I don't think so. But you can guarantee, if I did, I would say I have one. And it's fucking annoying and I have to work on it till it's gone because advanced bitches don't carry around resentments. We live a resentment-free life, and so I want to be fucking happy, so I'm going to work on it. And it's annoying as fuck, and sometimes I don't want to forgive the person. But I think you've gotten it by now, and if you haven't, forgiveness is not for anybody else. It's only for us. And we don't have to tell somebody we forgive them. We don't have to, we never have to see or think about any of those assholes ever again. Forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness was for me. So what they say about resentment, if it's poison that I take it, but I think someone else is gonna die, but I'm taking the poison, resentment's a poison in me. That's gonna make me use again. Resentment is a knife hanging over my head, even though I think it's over someone else's. Says that person's a jerk. Well, guess where the sword is? It's hanging over my head. And so I don't want that. I don't want that life. And so I had to go to any lengths, including the people that were unforgivable. And I forgave them, I guess. I don't have a resentment against them. So to me, I guess for me in my life, that's what forgiveness is I have no resentments. But I do that shit for myself because I want to be happy. I want to be free. I want to be completely free. I want to be full out free as fuck. And so that's why I do it. But my life and my ways are not for everybody. They're only for the people who want that kind of life. Because some people are very comfortable with their resentments and, treat them like almost like a little stuffed animal that they keep with them because they have their resentments. And some people have been destroyed by other people and they don't know how else to be. Maybe giving up that resentment would shatter them again. Like, who knows? That's why this isn't for everybody. And I think there's a case-by-case basis. And so, but I think I've answered your question. The difference between understanding and forgiveness, it feels like understanding happens here and forgiveness happens here. And these are two different things. So, and then with a little extra, if somebody's doing something I don't like, I get to call that person out on their behavior and I get to tell them to stop. And if they don't, then we don't have to be in a relationship. So I hope that was helpful. Sending you love. Thank you for honoring me with that question. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope I treated it kindly and respectfully. Okay. Love you. Ask me any follow-ups you want. Okay. Bye.